When the last bell rings at Northwood High, who really holds the keys? We trust our systems, our locks, and the people we hire. But what if the person meant to protect the quiet is the one disturbing it? Northwood High, a bustling campus by day, fell into a predictable silence at night. Or so everyone thought. The night janitor, Arthur Vance, was a fixture, quiet, invisible, and trusted with a master key card. No one questioned his access. Why would they? He'd earned a decade of trust. Then, odd things began to happen. Mrs. Gable's essays moved. Mr. Chen's desk model shifted. Minor, dismissible things. The doors were always locked in the morning. No theft, no damage, just small disturbances, easy to blame on memory. But the ripples grew. The guidance counselor's photos were rearranged. A confidential file appeared out of place. Each incident seemed isolated, but together they hinted at a phantom presence, someone moving through the school after hours, touching but never taking. It was a ghost story in the making, and no one yet knew the ghost had a name and a key card. The school's trust was being quietly tested, and the signs were there for those willing to see. The question wasn't if something was wrong, but who would notice first. In the silence of Northwood's halls, the unseen hand was already at work, and soon the whispers would begin. As weeks passed, the oddities became impossible to ignore. Teachers compared stories in hushed tones, planners opened to the wrong week, confidential files disturbed, computers showing failed logins at 3 a.m. The sense of being watched crept into the school's daily life. Dr. Evans, the school psychologist, filed a formal complaint. Her computer accessed overnight, her locked cabinet ajar. This was no longer a quirky ghost story, it was a violation of privacy. Principal Thompson, once dismissive, now faced a crisis. No forced entry, no alarms, just a growing sense of unease. Security was tightened, after-school protocols reviewed, but the incidents continued, always late at night. Coaches found playbooks moved, teachers discovered opened recommendation folders. The phantom wasn't just wandering, it was searching. The staff's trust was eroding, and the pressure on the administration mounted. The school's sense of safety was unraveling, one unexplained incident at a time. The administration's theories, students, faulty locks, fell flat. The pattern was too deliberate, too targeted. The mystery deepened, and the need for answers became urgent. Northwood High was no longer just a school. It was a puzzle waiting to be solved. The hunt for the ghost had begun, and the staff was watching every shadow. Principal Thompson turned to the school's electronic access logs. Every badge swipe, every door, every time. IT Director Sarah Jenkins cross-referenced complaints with late-night access data. At first, nothing unusual, but then, a pattern. One badge ID, Arthur Vance, appearing in places he shouldn't be. His route was the first floor, but his badge opened doors on the second, in offices and classrooms tied to the incidents. The logs showed him entering Mrs. Gable's room at 1:47 a.m., Dr. Evans's office minutes before a failed login. The digital trail was undeniable. Arthur wasn't just cleaning, he was exploring, methodically, after hours. Sarah compiled the evidence. Every suspicious entry matched to Arthur's badge. The ghost in the hallways now had a face. The mystery was unraveling, and the staff's suspicions were about to be confirmed. The next step? Catch him in the act. The access logs told part of the story, but the administration needed visual proof. Northwood's new security cameras captured every major hallway and entrance. Sarah Jenkins synced badge logs with video footage, creating a timeline of Arthur's movements. The footage was clear. Arthur pushing his cart, entering off-limits areas, pausing to check for witnesses, then slipping inside. He left his cart, entered offices, stayed for long stretches, and emerged empty-handed or with something hidden. The pattern repeated, targeted, deliberate, and always after hours. The most damning footage showed him entering the records room, sometimes sliding a folder into his cart. Arthur wasn't just wandering, he was hunting for information. The ghost was exposed, his actions caught on camera. The question now, what was he doing with what he found? The evidence was mounting, and confrontation was inevitable. The badge logs and video footage were damning, but the motive remained unclear. Principal Thompson authorized a forensic analysis of the targeted computers. Sarah Jenkins imaged hard drives and dug into event logs. On Dr. Evans's computer, files labeled Student Behavioral Assessments were accessed minutes after Arthur entered. The records room PC showed unauthorized access to the student database, viewing specific students' academic records. On the college application laptop, a recommendation letter was subtly altered, just enough to boost a student's profile. Even the grading system showed minute, undetected changes: a B+ to an A, a C to a C+. Arthur wasn't just looking, he was altering records, quietly shaping students' futures. The digital evidence was clear and chilling. The invisible janitor was manipulating the system from within. The school's trust had been weaponized. The final piece: why? The confrontation was set. With evidence in hand, Principal Thompson confronted Arthur Vance. Arthur denied everything, blaming system glitches and insisting on his innocence. Sarah Jenkins presented the access logs, then the video clips. Arthur caught entering forbidden rooms, time after time. His composure cracked as the footage played. The final blow: forensic proof of files accessed, grades changed, recommendation letters altered. The digital footprint was irrefutable. Arthur's denials collapsed into a confession. He admitted to everything. He'd been helping his nephew, a student at Northwood, by boosting his records and recommendations. Years of trust, undone in minutes. The ghost was unmasked, and the school's faith in its own security shattered. The cost of betrayal was more than just numbers on a screen. Northwood High would never look at trust the same way again. The lesson was clear. Even the quietest hands can leave the deepest marks. The Phantom Janitor's case was closed, but the damage lingered. Trust, once the school's foundation, was now a source of anxiety. Security protocols were overhauled, access tightly controlled, but the sense of safety was slow to return. Arthur's betrayal was a harsh lesson. The greatest threats often come from within. The school learned that trust is not a security feature, it's a vulnerability. Digital forensics, not suspicion, had revealed the truth. The systems that created risk also provided the evidence to solve the mystery. Northwood's story is a warning. The people you trust most can do the most harm. Technology records everything, and sometimes that's the only way to see what's hidden. Trust is essential, but never enough. The quietest person in the room may be the one you need to watch most closely. In the end, it was the data that spoke loudest, and Northwood High would never forget the lesson.